till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
First professional fight has now been recorded to history, and a good finish for Kevin Carrier.
I'm often asked, why the lion the logo for sports money? Simply put, the lion is an apex predator. It dominates, they hunt in packs, and they're the most ferocious creature on land known to man. Success is where preparation meets opportunity, and Sports Money is excited to embrace this opportunity as we move further and deepen our commitment into the world of combat sports. We're excited to bring on the newest member to our community, Kevin Carrier. Fighting under the Legacy Fighting Alliance, will go out there at 3-0. His next fight, Friday, February 21st, Seneca Harbor, New York. Please welcome Kevin Carrier. What up, and welcome back to Pregaming here on Sports Money, Monday to Friday with an asterisk. This will be our last show for the week. We'll not be able to work the logistics out for tomorrow, but we'll still put some plays out there for the gang. First Friday off in I can't remember when, but we'll be working. We'll be grinding. Kevin Carrier is going to battle in the LFA. And man, did he open up as a big favorite and continue to swell. He went from minus 400 to minus 800. Biggest favorite on the card tomorrow night. That makes me a little nervous, but he looked good. He looked good in that video. So appreciate you guys that did hit the thumbs up on that video that was out there. Hopefully we don't get copy stricken. It's our video. It's our property. Shouldn't be a problem out there, but who the heck knows? I know tonight's going to be a massive evening. Canada versus USA for the championship. Can't wait. We're going to be live. We're going to be live all over the place. We got the YouTube stream going. We'll get over on Kick as well. Going to be a ton of fun. Going to be a full house. You guys know the deal. The Sports Money crew will be rocking. We'll have razor sharp picks there. Keith's going to join us. We're going to get penny bombs in the house. It's going to be a ton of fun. Going to be an absolute ton of fun. And we'll start off the show there talking about that game, how I'm going to get paid in that game. And hopefully you guys will tail and follow, and we'll all get paid. And then we got some college hoops tonight. I think there's about 50 games on deck. So I tried to take a sampling of 3 of them, but we've got 4 plays on those 3. One of them's a double dipper. We'll talk about that. And then we've got 3 plays in the NBA. You know, historically going into and then coming out of the All-Star break are just tough times. So we want to proceed with caution. Can't give it all back. Don't want to give it all up. You know, it's been a nice little NBA season. So we have to let things kind of materialize a little bit. I thought I found 3 games that fit the bolt. They fit something is what they fit. But a little bit of late line movement in this Memphis, Indiana game. So we'll see. We'll talk about those as well. But welcoming you guys. I appreciate you spending the evening here with us. It's going to be a fun, rocking evening. I cannot wait. Fired up for this game. And the NHL, look, I was very vocal. I said, Thursday, what are we doing? The game's on Monday. Backed up, some injuries. But what a great spot to put in the slate there. I mean, look, there's 50 mid-major college games going on. The NBA's coming back from the All-Star break, so we'll see what that looks like. But what a perfect slot for the Battle of 4 Nations Cup. It's going to be our playoffs or whatever. 4 Nations is what it is. We appreciate Finland and Sweden showing up, but it was always going to be Canada and USA. I can't wait. Can't wait to talk a little bit about that game. What else we got? What else is going on? We are in a bounce back position. Yesterday did not go our way. Dropped about, 2 units overall. We cashed on that same game parlay in the afternoon. We rolled into the evening. We lost out on that Temple game by the hook in the end of overtime. Notre Dame got busted up, and Indiana State could not figure out that first half. Frankly, couldn't figure any of it out. Evansville came through there with a vengeance. Kentucky hammered Vanderbilt, 82-61, so we nailed that one. Function of the show going late start, plus 3.5 cashes for Cincinnati, but officially gave out plus 2.5, so we'll take that L. And the Roadrunners lost by a 5-pack. Then things started turning around, though. The under in the Gonzaga spot there, 166.5 cashes with ease, 147. We got that thing by 20 points, 19.5 points technically. And then I told you guys they were begging you. They were on their hands and knees saying, please, please, please take this Bama spot. And it was never Bama. We were all over that Mizzou spot. It was a heavy spot. I told you it was going to be a heavy spot. We cashed that one. That was a nice little W out there. Again, it was never really in jeopardy. They went up to like a 20-point lead, I thought, right off the gate, and they kept it rolling. Every so often, you'll hear me say they're begging you for something, and just write that down. Just take a note. Boise State cleans house at the end of the night there against New Mexico. They won by 8. We had 4.5. We were laying 4.5, I should say. So we got that cover. And then the Lakers did us dirty. Lakers lost outright. Coming back from the All-Star game. I don't know. I mean, two of the three props hit. Josh Green only got 4 points. We had a 6.5. Rui gets his over 4.5 rebounds, no sweat. And then Dalton Connect under 9.5 points cashed as well. So finished off the night with the Rutgers overtime, and Rutgers comes out with the win. If Rutgers was winning that game, it was never going under. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So we'll get back at it tonight. You know, it's kind of a just fortunate that we got a lot of sports back, right? And we got more options. We don't have to be as selective. We can have a lot of fun. Let's go. Let's get this money, you guys. Appreciate you all coming in here, rocking with us. You know the deal. It's time. We got to get that thumbs up button. Support the channel. Help us grow this community, bringing in sharp-minded cappers like yourselves by way of that thumbs up button. You close the chat, you hit the thumbs up, you pop the chat back open, and we will go to work. Get your pens and paper ready to go. Of course, we're going to talk about the best bets from our chat. See who's out there helping us win this money tonight. And then we will get to the card that I put together. And then we will go, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to rehydrate so that we can dehydrate, because we're going to pop off at about 7:45 for the live show tonight. And there's a lot of things that you guys can catch out there in between. We did First Strike last night. 4 best bets. I got a plus 240 dog out there. That's going to continue to drop. It'll be probably plus 200, plus 185 by fight night. You got BBMMA picks and the 3 best bets that them boys put together out there. You got 2 sub club soccer videos out there, one for Friday, one for Saturday. So you're going to want to check that action out. Make sure you smash those thumbs up buttons as well. And we will continue to put more actionable content out there for you guys. Shout out to everybody rocking. Make sure you get those best bets in the chat. I see Oldie, I see Flea, I see Sub Club. Busy afternoon for Sub Club. Getting down on Crystal Palace and Fulham. So Crystal Palace, Fulham breakdown from our guy Sub Club. Gerald Jones coming in. His best bet. He's got Campbell, NCAAB under 136.5. My man. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Good evening to Robert McCormick, T. Moss. Jimmy Davis says, damn, that intro gets me hyped. I wish my mic sounded better. I don't know. It sounded like I was talking through a paper bag, but it is what it is. Technology be darned. We're still going to get hyped up for our fighter. Going to be fun tomorrow night. We're rolling with him this year. We want to sponsor this guy. We think he's going to go out there and get himself on the road to the UFC at 3-0. So we're excited. We're excited to see him perform. James Parham, appreciate you. There's Barry in the house. Jimmy Davis giving us the Louisiana first half and full game double up. Louisiana. Each every strides in the house. We're going to see Keith tonight. It's his big game tonight. Let's have a night. Let's have a night indeed, Keith. AOD's in the house. Appreciate my man coming through here. Old E. This is One Nation, and it's under God. USA Smash. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There's Earl Sports Bets. Look at him. This is new show. Who dis? What's up? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I expect you are. I know that you're looking at Canada, but you know it's a mortal mega lock. I saw your tweet there. Thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate you, man. Let's go. Jay Stone's in the house. Let's go. Mr. Tomatoes. Mikey Money. Tonight, Canada stuns the USA. That's outright slander. AOD wants the outro. We'll get it to you. Great beats. Beats in the house. So, sup, Mike? Let's do this money, and hydrate works too. Philly Eagle Flyer, the best name in the business, is coming in here. Look at him lighting the card up for us. USA money line, first period and full game draws. First period over 1.5. Werenski anytime goal plus 700. 2+ points on Werenski, Makar, and McKinnon on McDavid. First goal. Wow. Expecting scoring, it looks like, from our guy Philly Eagle Flyer. Damon Waring's got Troy minus 14.5. Kennesaw State money line, Georgia State. I like that Georgia State spot. I like that spot quite a lot. Georgia Southern plus 8.5, and Bellarmine. Don't care. You're getting 8.5 points. Good luck to you, my friend. Big Scott's in the house. He's repping. He's rocking. This is USA money line minus 105. NC Asheville, UNC Cashville at +3, and Western Kentucky minus 3.5. He's got Canada plus 150 pre-tourney. Was going to ride that over, but I doubled down tonight. Canada minus 1. Wow. Plus 166. 4-2-5-2 Canada tonight. Interesting. Jay Stone says Braden Point plus 130, plus 300 for an assist, plus 350 for anytime goal. That's not a bad spot for the anytime goal. We saw Braden Point be productive the other night. Why not keep him rolling? Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate you. Shout out to AOD. Man, I'm fired up. I can't wait. It's going to be a good night tonight. And here we go. 4 nations. It's really one nation, as we talked about. Look, yeah. I think the biggest narrative for this game here is, well, 2 things. There's a little bit of an illness floating through the locker room for Team USA. You know, we've kind of been hearing about that this week. Everybody's cleared to go. Minus McAvoy, but he was never going anyways. He's got some shoulder, I don't know, got an infection in his shoulder socket. I'm not even sure how that's possible. I heard about the injury. I was like, how does that even happen? The other thing I want to know is, how do they find it? Like, what was he complaining about? Some stiffness in his elbow or something, or his arm? And then they come back and they see, dude, you got an infection in your UC joint or something. I mean, like, whoa, dude, it just sounds bad. It sounds painful. But we don't need him. We don't need him. And, you know, we talked the other day, Quinn Hughes will not be making the trip. He couldn't clear the medical side of things either. I just don't think he wanted to make the trip if he wasn't going to play. I think that's what it came down to. Now, what'll be interesting is they can't bring in another defenseman unless they go below their originally rostered 6, right? So they rostered 7. If they lose 1, they still have 6. If they lose that 6, they go down to 5. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't apply to mid-game. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. And again, the big conversation, can USA win twice? They all say it's tough to beat the same team twice. Get it. Got it. Understand it. A little bit of underestimating what this Team USA roster's done and how it's solidified itself offensively and defensively, led by those maniacs, them Kachuk brothers. I'd love to see some more fights at the start of the game here, but I think this is a big one. You know, I put a poll out there earlier this week. I said, do you think we'll see a fight in the first 10 minutes? Or maybe it was 5 minutes or something like that. And I think that what this comes down to is you want to be out there. You want to be available for your team. And as much as I'd love to see it get a little goony and have some fun to pop this thing off here, we're back on American soil. Probably won't see that disrespect of the American national anthem like we saw that fired them boys up there in Canada. We'll see what happens with Canada. Will there be some boos on their national anthem? I don't know. But we all know Canadians can be a little puffy from sometimes, time to time. When it comes time to get tough, they get going. At least when it comes to hockey. And we'll see how that relates here. I think that, again, the depth of Canada certainly to be recognized. But it's not Sid the Kid anymore. It's Sid the middle-aged man. In fact, he's the oldest guy in the Four Nations tournament. So first time he took his loss in, 26 games or 27 games in Team Canada jersey was against the U.S. the other night. And look, we wanted to play rough and rowdy early. Then we went out there and we showed agility and the ability to maneuver that puck wherever it was that we wanted to and thread the needle for a 3-1 victory. On the flip side of things, I do expect more scoring tonight. I do think this is a game that's going to look to the over on the total. Sides-wise, I did bookmark these because it's hard to find splits for some of these things. So let me give you guys the splits in this game because I know some of you are interested in hearing that information. So let's get to it. Where'd it go? Where did it go? There it is. This is as of this morning. It's about 11 a.m. this morning. Pretty straightforward. 62% of the bets, 73% of the cash have come in on Canada on the puck line, the -1.5. 62% of the bets and 73% of the cash. 62-73. 32% of the bets, 42% of the cash are hitting Canada on the money line. What has this line done? Well, it opened up. America was the favorite, -112s, more or less. Canada was a -108. About midday yesterday, it shifted. As we got closer to game time and we started seeing that the Tkachuk brothers were going to play and what was going on from a lineup perspective. Starting to see a clearer picture of the goalies. We saw this thing move. Canada went from Canada dropped to a dog, dog. It's all relative. We're talking about less than a nickel on both sides. USA opened at -108. They moved to -112. And as of show start here, both teams are sitting at -110. The over's getting pounded. 74% of the bets and 78% of the cash have come in on the over. And it looks like in the last couple hours, we're starting to see some money coming in now. This money line has gone from 78% on the over. I'm sorry, the money has gone from 78% on the over now down to 61%. So about a 17-point swing now for people looking at this game thinking it's going to be a tighter scoring affair. I think if they're not going to go out there and get in the penalty box and the team sits, you lose your guy for 6, 7, 10 minutes, potentially, depending on how the line shifts work. If they're not going to do that, it's going to be best of best, mano a mano. And there's no reason not to like what Matthew Tkachuk and company can do out there. Question is the lower body. I think it was an abundance of caution. They rested him on Monday. Brady Tkachuk didn't skate yesterday. They asked Matthew Tkachuk if his brother was going to be ready, and he said he should be ready to go. He's going to give it his all. So, again, latest look, everybody looks good to go. Problem going to be here is how can Canada score? The USA has been playing stout, both offensive and defensively. They've only allowed 4 goals in the tournament. That being said, Connor Hellebuck's been just a beast. He's been the beast of, I was going to say the East, but it'll be the beast of the East tonight, I think is how it works out. Yeah, Charlie McAvoy not in there. Here's the way I approached this game. I took the Team USA spot. I got the puck line, or the money line. -110, I got Team USA. Homer pick, I don't know. I told you all tournament I was going to take Team USA. I got Team USA to win the damn thing. So Team USA. The player I want to focus in on is going to be Jake Gunsel. Jakey G. I don't know if that's his name. I just made it up. I got him to score a goal at +275. I like the combination. I like what he's been doing out there. I like that he gets power play unit time as well. I think this is a guy that's kind of been underestimated. Yeah, we know about the Tkachuk brothers, but what do we see when these big games come down to it? Look, probably 3/4 of you don't even know who Mr. Game 7 is. Why? Because predominantly through the season, he was useless. But it got to Game 7s. Justin Williams would come through like nobody else. So you never know. It's that mid-lineup situation, and that's where I think Canada and USA will – it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tight game. I also jumped in on Team USA's team total over 3.5. I got that at a nice plus spot, little plus price tag. I expect goals. I think that we're probably looking at a 3-3 overtime. Goes to 4-3, USA wins the game. That's my script for the game. I think it's going to be a tight one, top to bottom. Of course, I think it's going to be scoring. I think, you know what? I think we see the first period goes over the 1.5 goals. I think they open up, they start scoring, and the pace is going to be set right off that first puck drop. This time, instead of fighting, we see fast flying action, and that TD Garden in Boston is going to be lit up. So Team USA on the money line. Team USA over 3.5 goals was +185. It was a nice plus price tag there. I thought that was just too much of an opportunity. I mean, if we have to live bet away from that, then certainly we can. But if USA's up and it's 3-2, guess what happens? It's empty net time. Can't take them with you. Got to get them off that ice. And then bang away, we see that puck flies in the net, and USA can find a way to get to that 4th goal. And then I've got Jake Gunsel Anytime goal scorer, plus 275. I'm going to play around with some other props. I give Sid some, the middle-aged man, I give him a little grief, right? But I still like him to get a point tonight. I mean, I still think with the effective scoring, yeah, you want to take a look at some of these guys to go out there. And his point, somewhere between minus 125 and minus 135. So shop that one around if you are so interested in the middle-aged man finding his way to get on the net. And you can kind of play down. You can take a little juicier over 2.5 in the game if you think it's going to be maybe a tighter, lower scoring game. I still would be down with Team USA over 2.5 at minus 130. So a couple looks to consider. What do you think? You think I was going to come in here and not talk about Team USA? Nah, call it a homer if you want. I got 2 eyeballs, and I know who the better team is. So I don't care about that nonsense. You can't do it twice. Yeah, they can. This team can do it twice. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to Mel's in the house. Is already heavily invested in Canada, plus 195, and MVP McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby. That's it. Go USA. All right. Okay. Rich Ace is Canada going to go into Beantown and beat USA ? And the answer is no. Yeah, USA was the most dominant team the last time. Oh, Jordan Bennington made it in the house for us. What up, Jordan Bennington? This is a do or die game in Boston. Nothing I haven't won before. Big game Benny in the house. Yeah, we got Nania's in the house. What up, Nania? Good to see you, my friend. Luke Murphy, esteemed author. Luke Murphy. What up, Luke? What's going on, fellas? I like to see this here. We're all ready to roll. Everyone's getting excited about this game. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be an absolute ton of fun. Can't wait. We're going to be live. We'll be live on Kick. We're streaming the game on Kick. We'll be live on YouTube. Not streaming the game on YouTube. But look, we want to get all the weapons in play to go out there and fire on these bookies tonight. So get yourselves ready. In the meantime, we do have some action across the rest of the sports spectrum. So let's get to business. First game on deck we're going to look at, and I saw my man on this one already. We're going to be aligned in this game here. NCAAB in the midst of a gambling scandal. Multiple players suspended for point shaving. NCAAB? Is that why they were 1-13? I don't know. You guys know the deal. The first number is their overall record, the conference record being that second number on the board. This line has not moved. It opened at 5.5. It's sitting at 5.5 with 62% of the bets and 72% of the cash on Campbell. The Camels, the Fighting Camels in that. And they got NCAAB fighting with collecting from the bookie because they found that there's potential point shaving going on. I'm not sure. And they're not fighting anybody. That's what it comes down to. This total's gone from 137. It's kind of oscillated. So we've got some 137.5s. We've got some 137s, and we have some 136.5s. And it's pretty much 50-50. In fact, it is 50-50 on the bets. 51% of the cash is on the under. And look, we'll keep it brief. We'll keep it short. We'll keep it moving with a brisk pace, as you know we like to do here. These are under teams. Now, with a caveat, Campbell, them Fighting Campbells, opened up and were scoring a bunch of points. They shifted into conference play, and things have locked up. North Carolina A&T 2-9 against the spread at home. Not good. Boys were shaving points. To the under, NCAAB 4-7 to the under at home. Campbell 9-6 on the road. If you break it down, though, I mean, look, we've got NCAAB on a monster under run right now. They're 5 straight unders. They're not scoring. Points are not. I don't know who's shaving points. They 59, 63, 62, 60, 59. These boys aren't getting the 60s. In fact, I think they're averaging like 59.4 or something like that on the season. So on the other side of things with Campbell just had a big spot against Delaware, and they went off. They got 96 points. Listen, I'm not buying the Blue Hens bullshit. I don't care. Yeah, they won 96-91. They were 3.5-point dogs, and it was a gunfight. They had to go out there and just do everything they could to go snipe them boys. Here's the thing, though. 4 previous games to that were unders. That game obviously was an over, 148.5. Went over by almost, 50 points, 45 points, which I think gives us an opportunity for a little bit of an inflated number here. And you want to do your shopping because I think you can find it and make it just right. The big thing for me and where I want to play with this game here is it's the third straight road game for Campbell. I do expect some fatigue to come in. I think that means NCAA actually does have a shot. As bad as they are, we've been taking this time of the year to embrace these bad teams like we had Green Bay the other day. Who was the other pile of rocks that we took? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Big thing, though. It's a bad little sandwich spot. You're in your third straight road game, and guess who's on deck next for Campbell? Them fighting Campbells are going to be fighting Towson at home. That's going to be a battle for first place in the conference. And I think creates a potential look-ahead spot. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take the fact that we've got 200 teams playing each other. We just saw a monster over on this Campbell team. I'm going to rock this under 137.5 to open the card up. I love me some sandwich spots. I love those look-ahead opportunities. Now, we'll see how it plays out, but just 3 straight road games and a big game on deck here to wrap your conference up. They're down to their last couple of games. So time is of the essence. There is no time for them boys to waste. And we're going to go under 137.5. I think NCAA can find a way to win this game. Oh, I know who it was. It was we had the 8.5, and they were leading. Was it Air Force? I think it was Air Force. Other terrible team that we were rolling with there the other day, and they got it done for us. Anyways, that's how we're going to open her up. In alignment with my boy Sneaky Ninja. Stonehill moneyline. Wagner's 2-6 against the spread when favored between 1 and 6. There we go. There's some numbers for you guys. How about that? Well, Stonehill action from Sneaky Ninja with a sneaky trend for us. Love it. Love to see it. Mr. Tomato says, my brain says Canada. I want USA. I'm squashing my own tomatoes over this all week. Rick Chase says they could only score 1 goal last. Yeah. I think they were shocked it was a I think they weren't expecting the explosion of fighting. They'll put up your dukes. I don't want to fight. Well, I'm fighting you, so you better put your hands up. That's exactly how that went. And we saw, I think they won all 3 of those fights too, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Kachuk brothers look like they handled business. Game number 2, we're going to go back to this team, which I think has one of the worst names in college sports. Lipscomb. Just sounds like scum. I don't know. Got to work on this a little bit. I mean, scumbag's one thing, but Lipscomb? They got North Alabama rolling into town, trotting into town out there. And again, we got no line movement. Public loves them some North Bama. Plus 6.5. 69% of the bets. Only 22% of the cash. Creating the sharp better report. And, of course, Lipscomb is on it. 78% of the cash. Takes Lipscomb minus 6.5. 78%. Totals moved up 1 to 2 points, depending on where it's at. It's on the climb. 63% of the bets, only 60% of the cash on the under. Has it gone from 147 again to 148.5 to 149.5? And yeah, sharp bettors coming in. I mean, look, there's no doubt North Alabama cover spreads at home. They're 11-1 on their home court. They're not on their home court. They're 500 on the road, 7-7 against the spread when they get trotting out there on the streets. Them streets can be cruel and tough. North Alabama doesn't like to see a high-scoring game. They like to try to control the ball a little bit when it comes to that defense on the road. They're 5-9 to the under. And, that's where I start to hone in. Those are the spots I love to be involved with here because we have Lipscomb potentially wants to run a little pace. And when you're playing a slow team, we've seen this with the Virginias playing Dukes. I'm not saying this is a Virginia versus Duke profile, but when those teams like to run a slow pace and they're on the road and they miss a couple of baskets and the fans start getting loud, gets a little sweaty, gets a little nerve-wracking. Lipscomb been covering a ton of numbers. They've been winning games outright. They've been winning at home. They've been winning on the road. They just came off a loss to Eastern Kentucky, 66-57 as a favorite in that spot. I can dismiss it because they had North Alabama coming into town. This is where that look-ahead spot becomes real. Do you care about beating up an East Kentucky team that's 17-11? Or do you want to put all your eggs in the beat up on the top of the trop situation here with North Alabama? And I think that's exactly the situation with these guys. In fact, look, we got this called the buzzsaw effect. Here's the buzzsaw effect. You're playing There's a little hyperbole to the buzzsaw effect. You're in a shit conference. You're the road dog of 3 or more points. You won 6 or more games in a row. Road dog, 3 or more points. You've won 6 or more in a row. Keep in mind, shit conference. The team you're playing shoots over 47%. The buzzsaw effect. You're due to take the L. The team you're coming out there at home likes to control that pace on the road. Going to be a little too ineffective for a team that shoots a better than 47% clip. It's 19-44 on them road dogs. 19-44. Just over 2-1 edge in favor of Lipscomb. And it's the margin that we look for of 10.6 points a game in those spots that they're getting busted up. So we can take some Lipscomb. We can get some Lipscomb at reasonable price too. -6.5 I got them at. And it rolled it. I'm sorry, -7.5. And it rolled it at -108. So -7.5, -108. There had been some late movement after all, as it turns out here. And I think that makes sense here. I expect this to be a double-digit win. I think that and the 10.6 points of margin just kind of validates that position. I think it's a good spot. Shout out to Rick J. Trisha M's in the house. What up, Trisha M? Good to see Trisha M. You guys are feisty. I like it. I like that 7. I saw somebody had a ticket for $1,776 on Team USA. I like that, Redbeard. It's very patriotic. And they're in Boston? Come on. Not sure what's going on there. But I know what's going on is we're going to take some Lipscomb. And we're going to roll on. Double dipper. There's MMA Ashley. I need my double. I'm going to see MMA Ashley tomorrow. I'm going to let her know about this double dipper icon that we need out there. The double dipper. La Tech going into middle 10. This line, sneaky bastards are these books. They're not showing any split data on this La Tech middle 10 side of things as it relates to the side. I think I know why. I think they're scared. Middle 10 is going to beat the dog shit out of La Tech. The brakes are going to come off they're going to hit them with their own brakes, I think is what's going to happen in this La Tech middle 10 game. The total's dropping. You know, we like to correlate our favorites to the unders. 141.5 has dropped to 140.5. We're seeing 139.5 now. 66 and 66 is what the cash flow and splits look like for the under. But no data on the side. Now, I don't know how much I believe in this because it's kind of in a different area that you can find this, but I see 89% of the bets on middle 10, 11% on La Tech. I don't know if I entirely believe that because it's not making it over to the main dashboard. Middle 10 used to be my horse like 2 years ago, man. These guys were one of the best spread cover teams in the country. Not so bad this year. 13-8-2 against the spread. 6-4 at home. 6-4 as a favorite. 7-4 as a dog. So usually the books are dialed into at least a profitable side here when they line a middle 10 game. On the flip side of things, La Tech 12-10 against the spread. 5-6 on the road. 5-6 on the road. The unders look pretty shiny clear here. I could see why the unders are coming down. You see 3-6 to the under for middle 10 when they're at home. You see 4-7 to the under for La Tech when they're on the road. Middle 10, 3-1 in their last 4 games, back-to-back wins. This is their first game home after 3 road games. They went 2-1. They lost to Jacksonville State. They beat up Kennesaw, beat them up 76-75, but they were 2-point dogs. So going into their barn as a dog, there's that 2-point spot when the bookmakers don't know what kind of line to put out there, you're better off taking the points. And the same thing happened at West Kentucky, plus 2.5. They go into their barn. They smoke them 87-77. Flip side. So you got back-to-back road wins for middle 10 coming back home. Flip side. La Tech, back-to-back home losses. There's that Kennesaw team again, 69-47. They were favorites. They lost. Jacksonville State, 70-68. They were favorites. They lost. And we got ourselves a perplexing opportunity. The perplexing situation happens to be back-to-back spots. Back-to-back losses as home favorites versus back-to-back wins. But I'm looking at this one here from a rest perspective. Middle Tennessee plays incredibly well when they've got 2 or more days of rest. They're 12-4 against the spread. La Tech on the flip side, 0-2. I know it's a small sample, but this one came down to a revenge opportunity. This is the revenge versus rematch for me. Middle Tennessee in the revenge spot, meaning, so just to clarify for everybody that's not certain, revenge is you played the team earlier in the year and you lost and you're trying to get your revenge. The rematch is you played the team and you won. That's important for this game. Middle Tennessee's 8-0 in the revenge spot, and they're at home. La Tech in a rematch spot finds themselves 1-4. Tough to beat a team twice, unless you're Team USA. The double dip factor became that La Tech's bad in the first half on the road. They're 1-11 on the road in the first half. This is where that double dipper came into play. I thought, I'm just going to double down on this Middle 10 team. I don't have a ton of college action tonight, but I got the first half -2.5, and I got the full game -5.5. We're seeing that the line isn't really moving so much on the first half. That -2.5 is a pretty firm number. It's still sitting at -112, so there's a couple cents of juice on there. But the -5.5 for Middle 10 are now seeing 6s. Still a couple 5.5s out there, but we're seeing some 6s now as well. So this game's going to be a 9 p.m. start. But I wanted to share this one with you guys now because I think you want to get in on this Middle 10. If you want to get in on Middle 10, if you buy into this Middle 10 and how bad La Tech is in the rematch situation versus home and revenge. I mean, god damn, have we not been cashing on that thing like crazy? You're the home team as the favorite and you're in a revenge spot? Bust them up, steal their cheerleaders, deflate their basketballs, and send them back home. Losers. That's exactly what I think happens here. We're going to take some Middle 10 to wrap up our college basketball card, and we'll move into the NBA. First game, listen. Excuse me. I could very easily pass in the NBA tonight. It's the first game back from the All-Star break. I found a couple spots that I like, so I'm not going to pass. I'm not going to double dip. I got a couple player props that I had my eyes on, but look, it's Vucevic night, right? Why is it Vucevic night? Well, the fucking total's 243.5, 244s. I don't know if that's the biggest one on the board, but if you want to look at some numbers, you want to compare some apples and oranges in this thing here. Overall, we see that, where'd it go? We see that the Bulls find themselves in an undertrend. Now, the problem with the trends, and this is why I said you got to get a couple days underneath you, because you just don't know who did what in the off time. And NBA players just got called soft. I don't know if you just saw that. I mean, I've been calling them soft for 3 fucking years, but now the general public's starting to see it. These guys are going on. PK Subban goes on to do an interview for the Four Nations Cup. He's a former hockey player, for anybody that didn't know. Also dated Lindsey Vonn after Tiger. I don't know why that's important. I just felt like sharing it. Goes down there and says these NBA players are all soft. You don't see that in hockey. I've been saying that. I've been telling everybody. Finally, some people are starting to speak up about it. But the Bulls, anyhow, with rest after a home game that they allowed over 112 points. Now, this kind of falls to me into that situation where it's not just normal rest, right? Like, you got a couple extra days in there because of this bullshit All-Star game that they had. The Bulls find themselves 9-0 to the under. So you got the highest number on the card. You got a team that plays to the under in the Bulls, and you got a Vucevic guy. If it's going to be low scoring, that means they're limiting second chance opportunities. And that's Vucevic. He's the guy to ball hound and get those rebounds. His 10.5 is -105. I rather like that. Matter of fact, let me look and see what it's doing right now. Maybe I'll add that play. Now that I've spoken aloud about it and put it into the ether, into the stratosphere. Vucevic. Rebounds. Oh, it's down to 9.5. All right, I'm taking it. Okay. All right. I guess I talked myself into that one. Okay. It made sense. The more I talked about it, the more it made sense. And a lot of people like the Knicks, by the way. The Knicks at a 12-point favorite. I mean, it's coming down. 53% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the Knicks. It went from 13 down to 12 down to 11.5. So, yeah, look, I'll take a player prop. Fuck it. Went from 10.5 to 9. I'd still take the 10.5 if you have the option to. It's probably going to be some plus money now on top of that, I would think. Let me look. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this player prop, but we got a few minutes. Let's see. Yeah, it's over 10.5 now. It's plus 112. So it's come down. His average is down to 10.2 a game, but we know that kind of the second half of the first half of the season, he started to kind of fall off a little bit because Josh Giddey came back, and it's okay. I'm on that. I'm just gonna take that 9.5. There you go. There's an on-the-fly player prop for everybody that's excited about player props. Sometimes I think that's the best way to play the NBA. Doesn't matter what the team does. The Knicks and the under correlate, but we have reverse line movement, so it kept me off of that spot. Memphis, Indiana Pacers. Big bet. You guys have heard me talk about it before. Teams are built to play within their division and their conference. And when they get outside of that, sometimes you can get a clear picture of what's happening and how this team is actually built and set up. Now we know Ja Morant. I'll leave my 2 cents on him alone. This line had opened at -1. It's gone to -2s, even some 2.5s. 68% of the bets and 73% of the cash coming in on the Grizzlies. So public likes them, and bigger bettors like them even more. This is the highest total on the board, 250.5. Pacers getting that pace back. We talked about that before. 59% of the bets and 58% of the cash. Now, on the over, sorry. Let me finish that thought process before I move too far along the pike here. Yeah, I mean, you got Jaren Jackson, Halliburton, Ja Morant. I get why the total's as high as it is, but here's the thing that is the misunderestimation here. Memphis kicks the shit out of the East Division. They do. You know, they kind of started off the season slow. They had their injuries they dealt with. They're 34-18 against the spread. So look at their record, 36-18. When they win, they're covering. And predominantly, it's because they're mostly a favorite. And when they're a favorite, they cover 24-10 in the favorite role. They're 10-8 as a dog, but you know that kind of speaks to the fact that they're just whatever number you put on the Grizzlies, they tend to find a way to cover. And scoring galore. They're 21-6 when they're on the road to the over. The Pacers 15-8 to the over when they're on the road or when they're at home. So does it really matter what they did in past games? Not really. I mean, they haven't played in 8 days. So you got just over a week's rest in this situation. Here's what I looked at. Bottom line. Memphis, road favorites against the East. They're 17-0 against the spread. That's it. 17-0. They're dominating them. It goes into all the things that we just lined up with who they're playing and where they're playing them. Who is your daddy and what does he do? And Memphis is the daddy when it comes to the East, especially in the favorite role. That's going to be the one. Going to take the Pacers. I'm sorry, we're going to take the Grizzlies. Correlated line movement. Semi-correlated total. I mean, how much higher is it going to go than 250? I don't think I've seen a total that high. I feel like one time I saw 258. I mean, there's a lot of high totals. You know, there's a lot of high totals for a reason. Let me see if I can find this bookmark that I put out there. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Yeah. 6+ point favorites in the first game back from an all-star break are 119-82 to the over. So the Celtics, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, and the Nuggets all fall into that criteria. Now, that Nuggets game's kind of quirky because you got the Hornets who just beat the Lakers last night. Now they got to travel. They got to go into Denver, so you got the elevation factor out there. Denver's laying 16.5, though. I mean, that score tells me is they're going to kick the absolute shit out of them. And then do they start swapping players in at the end of the third quarter? And cruise control the rest of the way, and the backdoor cover even possibly opens up for the Hornets. I don't know, but I thought it was important to note 6+ point favorites, big favorites coming back from the All-Star break. The games tend to go on the over. We tend to see scoring. Sneaky Ninja says, but no, yeah. And no defense. Yeah, I agree. Sneaky Ninja to 100%. 100% I agree with that. So anyhow, that's first game that we've got. Actually, so I guess the second play that we've got since we added a little player proppage in there. Let's roll on. Let's go. We got 2 more games, and then we're going to get ready for this big live stream. The biggest live stream. Canada and USA. I can't fucking wait. I'm jacked, and I'm going to get drunk. That's what's going to happen. Would you expect anything else? I don't know. I've kept my composure pretty good the last few live streams. The Clippers and the Bucks will face off in a line that is starting to swell as well. 8 p.m. start. Clippers go on the road to Milwaukee. Algonquin for the good land. Plus 1.5 for the Clippers. Have moved to a -3. Now, predominantly, because the Bucks are busted up. Giannis couldn't even play in the All-Star game. But then the fucking guy says, well, if we were playing for our countries and had an international format like the NHL did, then I'd be more motivated to play. Dude, what? I don't know, man. That's right off the gate. That's your leader. That's not a team I want to be a part of. You can stop the cat there, but we won't. 54% of the bets and 58% of the cash have coming on the Clippers. So we have correlated line movement to the road team. Then we see the totals moving up. 225 has gone up to 228.5 with 81% of the bets and 89% of the cash. And I kind of give, look, where are the issues going on right now? Bobby Portis was announced out, and that's why the line moved from dog to favorite. Suspension, not an injury, suspended. Maybe there's one guy on that Milwaukee team with some heart. I'm not sure what he did to get suspended, but the Bucks have lost 6 of their last 10 games. They're not in a bye position. Giannis, Lillard, both questionable. Haven't seen an update. Wouldn't it be funny if that was the update that just came through? No, it's not. Haven't seen an update. Oh, here's an update. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have an update. No update. Last I looked here, let's see. Powell will be out. Ben Simmons will be questionable. Gary Trent is probable. Kevin Porter is questionable for this Bucks team. Maybe Giannis and I don't know. I don't care. I think Zubac's going to be a difference maker in this game. His rebounding number is low against his expectation. He's averaging 12.6 rebounds a game. He went double digits. He's probably a good double-double player candidate out there if you're trying to get cute and try to find a way to try to make some extra cash on this thing. But I just think this is a great Clippers opportunity. I don't see any way, shape, or form that the Clippers don't come out here, handle business. They didn't have the best finish for the All-Star break. I thought that overall, they won 3 in a row, yeah, but if you look at it was Utah, Memphis, and then Utah again. So take 2 of those out of there. They were laying big numbers that second time against Utah on the road, -10. They couldn't get it. They barely won that game. But I think it was a good time for them to catch that break. Yeah, Memphis 128-114, but prior to that, they lost to the Lakers. They lost to they were on that losing run, and they couldn't get out of their own way until they played the Utah Jazz. So I just wasn't happy with the form I guess I saw the Clippers in, as they went down the stretch. At the end of the day, though, look, the Bucks win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. We don't know what Bucks team we're going to see. The Bucks, who have they beaten up? Well, they beat up Minnesota. They beat up Philadelphia. They beat up Charlotte. Good job. They lost to Atlanta. They lost to Golden State. Can't see that being the position in this case here. I think this is an opportunity for the Clippers to come in here, get things back in order, even this is why I say it doesn't matter. Even if Giannis plays, Dame plays, probably going to be on a minutes restriction. You're not going to see everything they got out there. You're going to see them watching the clock, not watching the score. And anytime we see those positions, we want to be in the favor of the team that wants to step on their throat. That's the Clippers. We'll lay the 2 points. We'll call it a day. I do like the Zubac rebounds. I thought about parlaying the Clippers with Zubac rebounds, but Honestly, what kept me short of it now is when the Clippers were the dog, you got like some good plus money on that thing by laying them, like dropping them to -2. Now they're -2s and -2.5, so you're not really catching the value's gone out of that parlay piece. And how many times have we been there before where we've played, the parlay and the team ends up winning and we got too cute? I mean, 11.5 rebounds for Zubac. We talked about his average. It's -105. I don't like playing assists. I don't really like playing the points. I prefer to play the rebounds number, if you guys haven't noticed by now. So seems to be where my forte is. I'm on the Clippers. Give me the clip show. Give me them going into Milwaukee, beating up these boys, showing them how it's done, and then getting ready to get the second half of the season underway. Best number I got on this thing was -2.5, -111. -2.5, -111. My action's tracked over at BetStamp. You can see Mikey Money. I have Memphis on the money line. Just a point of clarification. -132 for Memphis on the money line. Clippers -2.5, -111. Let's wrap her up. Probably the biggest news of the post All-Star break era, post All-Star break time frame. They shut your boy down. They shut Wemby down for the rest of the year. Out of it. 50-50 cash flow. Spurs were -2. They went to +3. Wemby news. So it's not reverse line. That's not really reverse line movement anyways. 50-50. 51% of the bets, 49% of the cash on the Spurs. +3. Total's gone from 230.5 to 238.5. So the points are a climbing. 67% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the over. I mean, look, Wemby's. It's a bad break for anybody that had Wemby to be the defensive player of the year. That is for sure. I actually feel bad for those folks because that was looking like it was like -2,000 or something like that before they announced him being shut down for the rest of the year. But I'm okay with it. Look, San Antonio Spurs in an underdog role, getting up and ready to play against a team loaded for bear with the Suns. I mean, here's the thing with the Suns. We've talked about this before. KD, Booker, who are we going to see? Are they going to play? If they do play, are they going to give it 100%? Kevin Durant made some disparaging remarks around the NBA and how soft they were recently. So you got to imagine there's a bullseye on that guy's back. The Spurs had the shittiest stretch of schedule known to man going into the road. They have 6 straight road games going into that All-Star break. So they were due. But look, even without Wemby, like if you want to play the star player factor, star player goes down. I mean, I know he's a rookie, but he is a star player, right? Star player goes down. Who do you have? We still have De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. And what are we going to see from the Suns? Who's going to be out there to play this game? Bottom line, we've talked about this with the points. When the books don't know what to do with the points. You want some numbers behind it? Conference dogs less than 3.5 points off a double-digit road loss. They just got busted up by Boston. And a total that's over 221. So they're expecting a non-extraordinary super defensive game, right? They're expecting at least run-of-the-mill type of offense. 40-20 are those conference dogs against the spread. 40-20. When the books don't know what number to put on them, typically in that 2 to 3 point range, we want to take the points. I know it kind of doesn't fall in suit with all these games that we're talking about, but I think there's a case to be made for why the Clippers money line was the play. And we saw that Memphis, despite them only being a couple of points in that spot, are 17-0 in those road favorite roles. So yeah, we'll take the spot. We'll take the Spurs. Probably they win outright. Probably they find a way to win outright. They go up early. And then we see that this happens all the time with the Suns. These star players check out. They don't care anymore. They're done. They're just ready for the game to be over and they go try the next game. We'll just get them on the next one. And then they find a reason to be a healthy scratch in that next one. So last game I didn't give you guys. My bad. It's going to start, 7:30. 7:30 start. I must have missed it. I don't know how I missed it. It was an unintentional missing. I'm on the over in the Cleveland and Brooklyn game. Sorry about that, you guys. If anybody's tuned out early, you missed it. You missed this little treat. This line's been kicking. I think I screwed myself up because I started talking about the player prop with the boost spot. This line went from 13.5 down to 13 for the Cavs. Big road favorite, 63% of the bets, 70% of the cash on the Cavaliers. The total, 82% of the bets and 85% of the cash are on the over. It's gone from 221.5 to 225.5. Yeah, look, we don't know what we're going to get after the All-Star break. Resounding thing. We know that 44-10, the Cavaliers are one of the best, if not the best, still in the NBA. And for the most part, everybody's rolling. For the most part. I mean, Dean Wade's out, but we'll see. We'll see what the official roster looks like here. Bottom line, this one is pertinent and specific to the post-All-Star game situation. Double-digit road favorites after the All-Star game that are on a winning streak are 49-24 to the over. 49-24. Double-digit road favorite, first game after the All-Star break, assuming they're on a winning streak. 49-24 to the over. Those teams are also 47-27, by the way. So it does kind of suggest that you would consider playing on the Cavs. The Nets have been an under team. You know, we've been cashing like crazy on them as the underdog or in that under role, but, you know, I think the Cavs just kick the shit out of these boys and drive the points themselves. I mean, I can see it being a 130, 110 type of game out there, and it just blows through the number. I mean, the suggested average margin is just over 10 points in those spots as well. So that'll be how we close the show. We'll take that Nets game on the over, 225.5. And I'll just rapid fire them for you guys. Again, real quick, we'll get up out of here. We'll get ready for the big live stream. UNCAA under 137.5. We got Memphis on the money line. We got the Vucevic over 9.5 rebounds at -120. The Brooklyn Nets over 225 at -109. I got Lipska -7.5 at -108. The Clippers, the Clip Show -2.5 at -111. Double dip, middle 10 first half -2.5. Middle 10 -5.5. And we close the show with the San Antonio Spurs +2.5 -105. Appreciate everybody rocking with us here. We're going to get ready for this big show tonight. We're going to pop off right around 7:45. Get the boys in there, get you some of their best bets and their plays that they're looking to smash out there. Appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with us tonight. It's good to see all you guys. Sneaky Ninja, Nick's in the house, Trisha M, Redbeard, Rick J, Ramon Scott. Running so hot. Sports makes money. That's why we make money betting sports every single day. Shout out to Ramon Scott. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Likes the Celtics in the second quarter. David Wallace, my guys in the house. Textiles. Appreciate all you guys showing up tonight. Stir and Company. Thank you guys so much. We will be back here at 7:45. Get ready for this big international extravaganza. Shout out to my guy Jay Peasy for the outro. We'll see you guys soon. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go. Snow, Curtis, blow, flow, fuck.